Put that team on the clock. He's checking back in rebound.
They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 11 yards there and a Lion first down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Staying on the ground on first with Kamara. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
So after the run by Kamara, now another 1st and 10. Here's Brady to throw, and it's hauled in by Jared Cook. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. Through an opening, and there he goes. Touchdown, Detroit. Alvin Kamara, his 14th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter.
Throughout the game, we're going to track so many different statistics, but one is becoming increasingly in vogue: explosive runs of 20 yards or more, and we just saw one right there to open this game.
Now we'll see how the other team responds, because when you get a play like that against you this early in the game, you got to feel like your back's against the wall a little bit.
Yeah, the pressure now increases on you because your first thought is we have to answer right now.
Now the first carry for Ronald Jones. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, what they call play side. But how about on the back side? Just taking care of business to make sure no one can get there and disrupt it.
Is the biggest key the left tackle?
Without a doubt. Control that edge. Get out there. You want that left tackle, or if you bring your tight end over there, either way, control the edge of the line of scrimmage, you got a chance to rumble.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10.
54 Mike. Check.
2nd and 10. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw, because for the most part, what they've seen, it's been pretty sensational.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They start the drive on the ground, Kamara. And that'll hurt the average a bit, as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets them back now for 2nd down. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Shotgun now for Brady. And this one incomplete. too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Motion. 58 for Mike. 58.
Hey, goal 66. Alert.
On third and long, it's Brady. And brought in by the tight end Cook. And he'll only get this to about the 44 as they stop him short of the line to gain. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a fourth down. On fourth down, on is Logan Cook to punt. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. He'll field this at the 5. It's a net of 40 there, a punt of 48, and a return of 8. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over first and 10. Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Tackle that time by Jarquiski Tart.
And when the defense wins and gives up no yardage on a running play, that's something they can build on and carry themselves forward throughout the game.
Mike's 54. Mike's 50.
Now he'll look to throw here on second and 10. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Dante Hightower. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
Mike 58 right there. Let's go, man. Big series right here. We got to step it up.
So after the INT, it's Brady. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
Brady's throw on third down there is incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. Now listen, now no kick from 50-plus is a gimme, but here you're indoors in a dome. You'd think ideal conditions.
Yeah, and it's one that he would expect himself to make, not just us expecting him to make it. Over the years, my theory is very simple. The athletic ability of kickers continues to get better and better. Check their background. They were all county, all state, at other positions, not just soccer players. These guys expect themselves to be great as well.
No gain on the play there, second down.
Brings up second and 10 at the 45-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's second and 10.
Ready? Kill. Gone. Ready.
Now Jones. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
We got this.
7, Vikings nothing.
Here we go. 30 pace. Let's go. Hey, let's go. Ready, go.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a second and 9. Here's second and 9, just a yard on that last run.
H3-2-18. Chopper. Ready, go.
Second and 9 now. Escaping the pressure right. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. Jeffrey Simmons, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Here we go.
Alpha.
51, Mike, 51.
So don't say nothing. Let's go.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Forced out to his left. And they finally catch up to him and take him down. Jeez, where was he going? A huge loss there. Mike Bennett make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Brady going to throw. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Brady's incompletion on 1st down leads to a 2nd and 10.
Alert 3. Check. Cross. Let me go.
Now Kamara. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
Shift. Move off Corker. Shadow.
To throw, it's Brady. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Nice 7, let's go. 7.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Open man, that's Noah Fant, the tight end. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Give him 18 there and give the Vikings a 1st down.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Out of the shotgun is Jones. And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
It's now 2nd and 6 at the Lions' 46-yard line.
2nd and 6. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And that is caught, but the back judge right there to say incomplete. Mecole Hardman, the intended target. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. From the shotgun, a give to Jones. And he will have a 1st down here at about the 40. 3rd and medium, they opted to run instead of pass, and it worked. 1st down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Keep playing hard.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. From back at the 4, here's second and goal. Throwing now is Brady. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete. Cortland Sutton was the man he was looking for, but now it's third and goal. A big play to start the drive got him in this position, but this defense has held firm since, and now it's third and goal.
Slam, slam, slam. Hey, switch gears, switch gears.
Check. 22 jet bomber, 22 jet bomber.
Check, check, check.
Check it.
To throw is Brady. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Josh Jones. And the return won't go anywhere. They'll be back deep in their own territory at the 2-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Now the question, what do you do here? Time not really an issue. You got over a minute, but you figure from this spot you'd need a good 50, 60 yards to even consider a field goal try.
Yeah, so there's optimism there, but there's also a little bit of restraint, right? You got to make sure you don't take a sack here. Don't end up in the end zone. Ball gets stripped. You could give up 2 points in that occasion, or maybe even 6 if you can't get on it and recover it yourself. So make sure you protect the guy throwing the football if indeed that's the plan of attack.
And he'll go down for a loss inside his own 5 at the 4. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on third down.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
Go, Mike 51, Mike 51. Hey, let's calm down. Hey, let's go, calm the crowd. So we got man. Ready.
From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. He's going to float this one. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. Oh, you just kind of feel for him right now. 4 interceptions, and you can almost see through his face mask. There's a lot going on in between the ears.
There certainly is, and probably way too much, because now he's probably doubting himself a little bit, wondering what adjustments he has to make. But here's what he needs to do. Get through this game. Go to the press conference, meet it head on, and show your teammates you're ready to shoulder what happened today, and you'll be ready for the next game.
And if he can do that as a rookie, that's a great sign of maturity. Now Brady. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. And now whistles and a flag. And I think we got a jump here. So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
So the penalty certainly helps them out as they come up on 2nd and 5.
Kill.
Following the penalty, it's Kamara. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on third down.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, yo. Let's make these babies cry all the way back home. Check three, check three, check three. Shoot, shoot, shoot. Watch the ad. Pilot, 64, weak. Ozzy.
From the gun, it's Brady. And he's got Snead. And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8. The Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And Rosas puts this one through. And the lead moves to 10-zip. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that, and we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Here we go. Here we go.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Check 31, check 31. Protein spill. Ready, go.
They'll throw now on the final play. And now here is another interception. Picked off by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. And he will be brought down as time has now run out on this first half of action. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. Jones. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9. The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. They'll go again to Jones. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
General, check 26, check 26.
They'll drop to throw. He's got his tight end Fant. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. A nice first down pickup on a gain of 6. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. This one complete to Mecole Hardman. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A good pickup there, a 22. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. He'll drop to throw. Completes it to Hardman. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. 11 more on that one and another first down. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll try and run it in with Jones. Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. And this is scooped up by the Lions. He's at the 50. 30. Past the 20. And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. And a great return as they're finally able to take him down. The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one, and it could be the backbreaker.
From a defensive perspective, if the offense is going to be sloppy, you've got to take advantage of that. And that's what they've done all game long.
Rosas to add the extra point. He's got it, and it's 17-0. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear them. The coaches from all the way up here, they were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Kamara. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
Throwing on 2nd down. Brady got a man open. It's Sutton. 15 yards for the Lions there on a 1st down.
A gain of 15.
Wait, that's why 20.
56.
Hey, D-line, let's get in there. Let's get in there. No, 60.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
56. Mike, 56, right there, 56.
Hey, ball 66.
Throwing is Brady on 3rd down. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen, because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and this is what we saw there. A nice pickup for a 1st down.
Check 13. Check 13. Ball 50.
They'll run it with Kamara. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Alvin Kamara with touchdown number 15 on the year and 2nd of the game. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. Rosas now to add the PAT. And the lead is now 24. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
At their own 22-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. 2nd and 11. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Adam Gotsis, the Aussie, with a sack.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. They're going to look to throw. Looking downfield for Jones. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So they decline it as that will bring up 4th.
And I know that yardage and field position are keys to any game played, but you've got to consider downs when you're talking about penalties, and they wisely did not take that one and made it 4th down.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. White now to return. They'll net only 35 here following a 43-yard boot, 8-yard return. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50, 1st and 10. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10, right at the 50-yard line. A man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Kamara again. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Charles, you said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. On 3rd down, here's Kamara. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
23 yards on the play. On 1st down, it's Jones. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. On the tackle that time, it's Trey Waynes. He's already fumbled once in this game, and I thought the ball started to jostle there a little bit, but they got to him quickly at the line of scrimmage.
They sure did, and remember, if you're not a very confident runner and you've already dropped it once, if there's traffic around you, the only thing you think about is protecting the football, not gaining yards.
And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
The Vikings on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4.
Here we go. Ready, go.
Now this time he'll look to throw. They set up the screen to Hill. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. They'll go with Hill here on 1st down. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. He'll look to throw. This is the tight end Fant. And he's going to get this inside the 30. And it's going to be another 1st down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 27-yard line.
Vikings, 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 27-yard line.
This quarterback now just 6 of 16 through the air, but he does have a 1st and 10 here. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Back to throw now on 1st down. He sets up the screen to Jones. And down inside the 15 he goes. He'll get 15 and a Vikings 1st down. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Mecole Hardman, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings are able to close the gap just a bit. Coaches must really like to see that from the quarterback because he's had the interceptions in this game, but they're able to connect on the touchdown pass.
And teammates love to see that because they know that they miss blocks during a game, but they come back and make them later on. They miss tackles, right? They miss making plays, but the spotlight is magnified on your quarterback. And when he stands up to the pressure and comes back and throws a touchdown pass after throwing some picks earlier, they feel great about that guy.
And likewise for him personally, as a rookie quarterback, has to give him more confidence. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now defensively they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. A gain of 3, 2nd down. This defense starting to buckle down when they need to, and right now they're winning this 4th quarter, losing the game, but they're winning in the 4th quarter.
And what a fine line it is about what they're trying to get done because they're down, so they obviously need the football, need a score, but they can't be so aggressive as to give up their edge, their gaps, and have the offense hit them with a big play.
The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
That's what I do. Kill.
On the ground, Kamara. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for Detroit. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away.
We got this. The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They have a little bit of time left here, but this one not going to go their way.
And this is where, in this situation for me, you just go ahead and run out the clock, shake hands, congratulations, and move on. Because now, you're not going to make up for what's happened during the game in this last sequence.
We'll see what they do here in this last sequence. From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. Here's Jones. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5. Now a timeout called for by the offense, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds left to play. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
He's not going to get me.
And they're out of timeouts, remember, so this is going to have to be a delay. And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves them back 5. Delay of game penalty ships them back 5 yards, makes it 3rd and 10.
Watch the curve. 1, 2,
One final shot. They'll look to throw. Dancing to his left. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. That's caught at the 25. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Oh, they hate that. Wipes out the big play.
And I know this is the NFL, so they would probably fine you for this type of a penalty. But when I was in college, you used to have to do up-downs for the number of yards that you cost a team in a big play.
So this one's over. It's a win for the Detroit Lions, and I think the game balls need to be distributed on the defensive side of the football, and I bet that you would agree.
Yeah, if you hold a team under 10 points, that's a job well done. Really well done. So I would say game balls for every starter and every key player who participated in this game.
Now, see, I only like one game ball. You're handing out multiple. Although I set you up by saying game balls plural, but
I like where we're going with this. Though you say one to represent like the best player of all of that, and I say multiples so that you keep everyone motivated and involved.
You're a man of the people.
I'm a man of the people. I thought I was the only child.
You get a game ball, and you get a game ball. Game balls for everybody. So for Detroit, their hopes of a 500 season stay alive as they move to 7-8 now on the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, it's a tough blow to their playoff aspirations as they drop to 9-6. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Tampa to take on the Bucs.